the whole root cause of all this stuff, right? Pertaining to trans women, trying to take away our rights. All it is to try to force trans women into detransitioning to be with women.
I'm way beyond universes, beyond Mars. I am the love on the Venus before extraterrestrial.
Hey sweethearts, it's Nicolette Venus. Once again, tapping in and welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, turn on all post notifications so you can be notified every time I upload. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about trans women being forced into detransitioning. Now, those of you that have been watching me for some time, you guys know that I am very intuitive, right? So, this was about 2 months before Trump became president. I had this weird dream. It was a biological woman sitting at a table, right? And I was walking by her and she says, "Ooh, I want to be with you. Oh, I want to be with you. I like you." Right? And I was like, what the heck? So then I looked at her phone and she had all these images of Donald Trump, right? Like she was obsessed with Donald Trump. So then I just said, ew. And then I walked off, right? So as I was walking off, I heard her like start busting out crying, right? Like sobbing and stuff, right? And then that was the end of the dream. Now, mind you, this was 2 months before Trump became president. So at the time, I didn't understand the correlation of the dream and Trump and, you know, trans women and, you know, stuff like that, right? At the time, I didn't really quite get it. This was a biological woman, right? So there's a correlation between biological women, Trump, and trans women. So what it was a biological woman showing interest in me, a transgender woman, right? And then Trump was attached to it as well. So what the dream told me is that all of this stuff, right, the whole foundation of it, the whole root cause of all this stuff, right, pertaining to trans women, trying to take away our rights, all it is to try to force trans women into detransitioning to be with women, right? That is the whole premise of this whole thing, right? That's all it is, right? That's what the dream was telling me, because it was a biological woman that wanted me, a trans woman, and she was like, you know, obsessed with Trump. So it told me that the reason why, and I'm gonna keep it real, I'm gonna keep it 100, right? The reason why trans women, right, we lost our rights pertaining to certain things, right? The reason why is because of biological women complaining. That's the real reason. That's the root cause of it all, right? And I know people are not going to want to hear the truth. They're not going to like to hear the truth, but it is what it is, right? You have to really analyze it and think about it, right? We did not become the predators, right? Everybody's saying, oh, they're predators, they're after women, blah, 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 right? In restrooms and this, that, and the third, right? Until what? Until biological women started to say, oh, I feel so unsafe. Trans women are trying to attack me in restrooms, right? So they created this whole narrative. They created this falsified narrative that trans women are dangerous, right? Predators, right?
What happened to you?
You didn't have to do that, Darnell. You know how much I love you.
Excuse me? Do what?
Then they said that, oh, what if my young daughter goes inside the restroom and one of these trannies follows her in? So then they created the whole P-word narrative, right? A comedian, right? This was a biological woman. I'm not going to say her name, right? She's a comedian, but she's trash at comedy, right? She said that trans women are deranged, mentally ill men. So then they created the whole concept of mentally ill. This is what biological women have created. It wasn't a biological man. It was not a cisgendered man saying, I'm scared of trans women. They're trying to get me. Oh, they're out to get me. Oh, they're going to do this. No, it was biological women, right, who started this. And before I used to think maybe it's because they're in competition with us, right? Do I believe some are? Yes, some are definitely in competition with trans women, but I believe the vast majority of the transphobic women, the vast majority of the transphobic women created this whole narrative to try to attack transgender women, to try to forcibly, right, try to force trans women into detransitioning simply because they want us to detransition and be with them. That's what the dream was telling me. The dream was telling me that, oh, they can't get us to detransition, so let's try to take away their rights and try to force them into detransitioning, right? And honestly, that's not how life works. You cannot bully somebody into being with you, right? And if you analyze this, those very same transphobic women, right, they do the same thing to gay men, right?
Shit, you must got the devil in you.
They tell them, oh, you need to be with the woman. You need to be the way nature intended to be. Or they'll try to shame. They'll try to shame the people. They'll shame men that are into men, or they'll shame those gay men, right? It's the same concept. They're just trying to force you to be with them, right? It's desperation. So realistically, they can't really take away our rights. You know, they could just, you know, change rights on documentation. They can't make us stay in the house, you know. They can't force us to stay in the house or force us, you know, to not be seen in the public eye and to not work or whatever. They can't do that, right? So yeah. So I just wanted to talk about that, right? I just want to talk about the situation, but that's what I noticed that the dream was trying to tell me, that they're trying to force. When they say we want to eradicate trans people entirely, that's what they really mean. They literally want to try to eradicate trans women, particularly, entirely. But it'll never happen. So if you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, future content. And until next time, guys.